Hello Galactic Family. The three planes of higher consciousness evolve as follows. The bridge to the conscience is superior cardiac chakra. Sense of emotional body evolve through the soul/sacred heart center. Body awareness mental evolve in mind through sacred and soul awareness. Spiritual awareness becomes the third component of Alma Media, and the current resident supersoul/UTOP. Beloved Masters, when are tuned to the frequencies of light, the fourth medium-sized, you give up the idea of man as known in the past. It is a time of the emergence of consciousness of the soul, as you allow it to become the reigning influence in his life. This means that you begin to hear the wisdom of your body elemental and the signals it sends about what is appropriate for your physical and emotional well-being. Your DNA and the cells of your body begin to integrate the higher frequencies of light, and gradually you begin to vibrate and to tune into the refined energy of the new age. This period of the transformation process can be likened to a death of your old self, which is really the process of removing the illusion of veils. As part each new level of your oversoul/higher self, you absorb the wisdom and enlightenment of this facet of his being wider. You are in the process of detaching the multiple layers of density, which absorbed in your auric field, through the many ages of earthly experience. The saying "the light will make you free" is a true statement, because the light is undoing layers after layers of negativity that you have carried for a very long time. You begin to work within an auric field of refined light of its creation, as you turn to the inside and learn to stay focused on your sacred heart, in the power of the now moment. Over time, they, as the transformers of light, begin to attract and integrate the maximum amount of adamantine particles of creator light and then radiate the rest, consciously, for humanity and for the world. When they reach a certain level of harmony within, you open the access, or portals, the physical body to the higher dimensions, the chakra of the ascension or the medulla oblongata and vagus nerve, skull base, and also the posterior portal of the sacred heart and sacred mind. These are the main steps of the ascension process. When this process is finished, you are well on your way to gain access to the first sublevel of the fifth dimension, where His Holy Trinity, the entry level, is waiting to give them welcome. Body Adam/Eva Cadman is your seed atom of the original and individualized divine in the form of a light body fully aware, created by the Elohim Sir/builders of light, is the archetype of mankind. Adam Cadman embodies the original nature, complete, divine and spiritual man/woman. It is not the same as your light body personal supersoul, which, by itself, evolves into the divine consciousness. Your higher self, your spiritual body/supersoul, and their triads holy veneers are refracted of your divine self, your original light body. The Cadman light body has the ability to take any form necessary to create and experience all forms of creation in terms of your Father/Mother God for this universe. The Adam/Eve Cadman is a physical spiritual creation that embodies the planetary worlds during all cycles of divine creation. Physical body at the beginning of the awakening process, there is a desire to turn inward and listen to the inner wisdom of the soul. This awareness of the soul involves your body elemental, the seed atom of memory, which contains the perfect model of its original light form Adam/Eve Cadman. Emotional body first, you become aware that emotions control them through your will, needs and desires, which in the long run do not bring them a sense of happiness or satisfaction. You begin to internalize and to question his life choices, asking, what has been the result of their actions? You begin to seek answers to the suffering and dissatisfaction in your life. The voice of your superconscious mind gets stronger, as you gradually become aware and follow the guidance of your soul. As they become comfortable and begin to trust that voice of higher wisdom, the body-ego desire gradually relinquishes control and the eye of the soul becomes the director and the guiding influence in your life. You begin to align your will with the will of the higher self, because you have been learning in gradual way to trust inspiring and intuitive thoughts of your sacred mind. Finally, you begin to consider all interactive events in your life from a higher perspective. You develop emotional relief by means of a more refined view of human interaction. To have experienced the most important tests of emotions, you develop a better understanding of the human emotional nature. Again, you learn to go with the flow and to consider the tests and challenges as gifts and opportunities for growth. You learn to make peace with the past and plan for the future, as we strive to live and focus on the now moment. Progressively, over time, the vibrational patterns from the emotional body are elevated beyond the magnetic attraction of the physical realm. Mental body, you begin to realize the limitations of their subconscious and conscious minds, and realize how you were stiff, limited and imprisoned by the mass consciousness belief structure. You voluntarily initiate a process of self-analysis, in which reassess their attitudes, judgments and program concepts. You begin to feel a burning desire to expand their knowledge beyond its physical reality, while seeking to learn why they are here on earth, and what is the greater meaning of life. Your instinctive mind gives way to its superior intellectual mind, and gradually, you get access to your sacred mind/intuitive. As I soul becomes the director of his destiny, life begins to change dramatically for the better. Then the faith and trust become an innate sure that everything is happening in divine order. You also know, of course, who are on a path that goes on upward spiral for a more refined, harmonious and loving reality. All you have to do is stay in the moment, and take one step at a time as the way opens before you. A himself master is self-determined autocondicionado self-conscious soul. A master of himself is sensitive to the surrounding environment, as is the observer of worldly experience from a higher perspective. Being in the world but not be part of it. One of the most profound events is when you first experience the abundant loving energy and joy radiating from within your sacred heart and your soul. The soul of nature is love, while residing in the third environmental limitations and fourth dimensions. It is through the eye of the soul that you connect to the essence of love of your Father/Mother God. A master of himself remains firmly focused on the sacred heart, in the midst of chaos and change, clinging to the wisdom of your sacred mind, while together the strengths of our Father/Mother God, as the illusions of the lower dimensions slowly disappear. A adept Afan is a person who is firmly focused on the path of light, whose focal point is the sacred mind and the sacred heart. He/she balanced, harmonized and integrated all facets of I the soul, from within the third awareness plans and fourth dimensions. He/she is now directly connected to its superlighted the Holy Trinity, which lies at least in the fifth dimension input level. In order to achieve this step, an aspirant must have completed the first of 4 stages lighting and have achieved self-mastery of the first 4 dimensions. This is the level rise open to humanity at this time, and can and will be performed by many souls bold, while in physical vehicle. A disciple is a person who has paid attention to the promptings of the soul eye and is actively seeking enlightenment, wisdom and self-realization, and finally the self-mastery. Sacred mind/mind top mind human sacred is an etheric seed atom, crystalline, within the upper and back part of your brain. There is a light membrane protecting their access to the portal that leads to the content of your sacred mind, until you have raised their frequencies to the appropriate level of the upper fourth dimension. Your sacred mind contains a condensed version of its historical past and a part of wisdom and vital information that you have integrated during your many past lives in this universe. Becoming a self-master on Earth involves getting access and integrate essential part of the attributes, qualities and talents stored in your sacred mind. The mental aspect of Atma, or wisdom, which you connect, when they come into contact with the many facets of its broader supersoul will connect them, finally, to your I am present / God rays / Adam seed divine, which has access to the wisdom of your Father / Mother God, or the collective intelligence of the sub-universe. Divine Mind. The Divine Mind is the totality of its seed Adam divine on an increasingly high level, ultimately the minds of our Holy Father / Mother God. For better understanding, it can be said that the superior mind is a refined frequency of your consciousness and you get the higher consciousness levels every download of a facet of your oversoul / higher self. As travel the path of ascension and access an acceptable spectrum of light and shadow, its goal is to develop the ability to stay focused in your mind and heart sacred. You learn to consciously maintain a higher perspective on what is happening around them, while expressing compassion and unconditional love for all. This is the goal of a self-master. As come into line with the higher frequencies of light, you will get used to the flow of the sacred fire breath, which was called the river of life / love / light, or Antakarana in ancient teachings. There is a powerful radiant and undercurrent of codified knowledge, that river of life. It is a creative genius code. However, you need to connect to the wisdom of the sacred mind and your soul I in order to access this innate power. You are called starseed for a reason, because as you return to self-mastery, will begin the process of creating crystalline Adam seeds of life code, a new and advanced evolutionary process that ultimately will be used the forms of life in the next available golden galaxy. We ask you to study what we reveal and strive to achieve universal schematic diagram firmly create in your mind, so that you will understand the next step of the wonderful cosmic events that are unfolding before your eyes. As bearers of light, you promise to be our representatives on Earth. Internally, you have everything you need to complete your earthly journey through the remainder of the fourth dimensional realms. As doubts arise, remember, all of your experiences from the past, whether they were successful or seemingly failed, gave them a wealth of experience to draw on. Beloved, let your light shine for all to see. Call on us and we will help them in every possible way. Know that I am with you always, and that you are loved deeply. I am Archangel Michael.